Hey everybody, you're watching the NEPA Scene Podcast, and the Crowning is going to open the show with a little acoustic number before we get started.
It's called Only Me. Than you were. right, thank you.
Awesome, thank you guys.
Yeah, man, thank you.
All right, so if you didn't hear, welcome to the NEPA Scene Podcast. We're coming to you live from Cole Creative in downtown Wilkes-Barre. I'm Rich Howells. I'm the founder and editor of NEPA Scene.
I'm John Pop. I work for Time Shamrock Communications with Rock 107, ESPN Radio, and Alt 92.1. And I'm also the Saturday night host of Alt Natives on Alt 92.1.
Nice.
Which, can I interject?
Absolutely.
I need your music for the show.
Sweet, thank you. Yes, we consider it done.
Perfect. I never heard you guys before. We'll get to the name of the band real quick in a minute. We already did, but he told me about the show tonight. I either went to your Facebook page and dug into your music a little bit, and holy crap, I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Wow, that's a huge compliment, man. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Yeah, it means a lot.
And as I said to Rich, I'm like, I need the music for my show.
That means like coming from guys who do this a lot. It's a huge compliment. We appreciate it. Thank you.
I'll give my email address when we're done.
Awesome, yeah.
Awesome.
So tonight we're here with Micah and Ace of The Crowning. We're a new post-grunge rock band from Stroudsburg.
You got that a little bit wrong.
Oh,
Okay.
I'll get to that.
I just want to make sure we're
So
clear.
they'll be performing at day one of the NEPA Metal Meltdown Festival, which is at the V-Spot in Scranton this Friday, May 4th. Now, they wanted to clarify that you guys, how did you guys put it?
Yeah, we are not post-grunge. We are pre-apocalyptic post-grunge beardcore, which is a very specific niche genre.
We're happy to be number one in the
We
genre.
are actually, yeah. We're in the number one on the charts in that genre. So please, going forward, make sure that's well known.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're getting it adjusted on iTunes. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long category.
It is, but it's important to, in this day of, so many genres of music, to really carve out your own space. So we're working on getting the domain rights right now and getting it trademarked and whatnot. So
It's already gone.
yeah, true. We're going to shorten it. I'm not going to tell you how we're going to spell it. It's going to be spelled with no vowels, and that'll be the domain name because it's 2.0 and hardcore, and music. So yeah, it's just the legit way of doing things.
So we're going to be talking about beardcore, and we're going to be talking about metal music, and you guys are more like a melodic band with kind of some heavy undertones as well. So we're also going to be talking about the music scene in the Poconos area, as well as the Lehigh Valley, which we don't get out to as much as we would like, but there's a lot of other publications covering that, but we don't hear enough about those types of bands from down there up here, so I want to talk to you guys about that a little bit. Their debut EP, which is Red, that's out now, and you're from Maryland originally?
Yeah, originally.
So I want to get into that a little bit as well, and kind of how that compares to Pennsylvania. So if you are interested in anything that we're talking about tonight, you want to hear from us and from them about anything, leave your comments down below, leave your questions down below. We will get to those a little bit later in the show, and so stay tuned. Also, we're on Twitter, so if you prefer Twitter over Facebook, we're also live streaming on there as well. But before we get to the interview, we do have some beers to crack open from Beer Boys in Wilkes-Barre. They have 72 beers on tap. They've given us 3. One of them is one of the new ones actually that they've got on tap. So, John, if you could grab those, they're kind of a little out of my reach here. I don't want to bump the mic.
We have a Shock Top Lemon Shandy, which is perfect for the weather that's finally decided to grace us with its warmness.
Finally feel
Why spring? Just right to summer
Right into it,
from
yeah.
winter.
Right.
It's no longer January. It's been January for like 3 months.
Yeah, it's
Thank you, Sam.
but yeah, so what, 86 today?
Yeah.
It's 86 now, so it's probably 90 this morning.
Okay.
In the afternoon. Dos Equis Lager Especial, and that's probably in honor of Cinco de Mayo, which
Oh, that's right.
they will be having a Cinco de Mayo party on Saturday. They're open at 2 p.m. and they've got all kinds of fun stuff going on there.
Yeah, there's a $2 Corona and Corona Light bottles all day, $2 Tijuana Sweet Heat Tequila shots all day, half price happy hour 8 to 12. and lots of food to go with it. Chicken, buffalo chicken, steak, house smoked pulled pork quesadillas. Live music by Always Undecided, who you've seen on at our NEPA Scene open mics quite often, and the patio is going to be open too.
Weather permitting.
Weather permitting.
But it sounds good.
Yeah, let's be optimistic.
It's open. It's going to be open.
And then there was a Natty Bow too.
There's a Natty Bow Crab Shack Shandy.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Me neither. I'm telling you, it sounds like Old Bay. Like, that's what I think of. It's got Old Bay in it.
So I've had it for the first time maybe a month ago.
Okay.
Thought the same thing.
No?
It's not.
Okay, thank God.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
That's good, because I don't know if I would want Old Bay seasoning.
Why is it called crab then? Why is it the word crab in it?
Crab Shack Shandy.
Crab Shack.
Well, I think the goal was to kind of, it's a shandy, it's summer, they want you to think about
eating crabs, so you want to eat crabs.
Being on the water,
Right.
next to the bay, maybe.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Fair enough.
Somebody above our pay grade that comes up with these things.
Yeah, they make more money than I do, so
right.
You give me the beer and I'll drink it.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to try first?
Yeah, we talked about that one. Let's open that one up first.
Do that while
And then if it's bad and we don't like it, we can go on to the other.
We'll make Ace drink it, and then we'll go on to the other
make
stuff.
Him drink
Yeah.
Well, the secret is we like all of them.
Yes.
No, Beer Boys is good to us. And
Yeah,
I
they always
think he
pick
would.
good
I don't
stuff.
think he would.
Where are they located?
They would not steer us wrong.
Good question. North Washington Street in Wilkes-Barre, so it's like a block from here.
Yeah, it's like right down the street.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it's one of the more popular bars in Wilkes-Barre.
And they just started doing live music again.
Rightfully so. Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Which is awesome.
Pass that
Pass it
down.
down
All right.
the line.
Now, if I don't like it, I have to still drink the whole entire.
I want you to drink it, and I want you to smile.
All right.
Say it's the best beer you ever had.
Good thing I drink so much beer.
No, but it's not bad. It's a shandy, so think.
Oh, it smells good. It smells lemony or
Yeah.
orangey.
So.
Maybe they're just trying to say it compliments like
Cheers.
seafood. Maybe that's the.
I did a horrible
That's
job pouring these.
It's all foam right
You
now.
can have that in about an hour.
Holy shit, that is good.
Right?
Really good. Very smooth, summery.
Pleasantly
Fruity.
surprised. with
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, very deceiving title and description.
Right.
Natty Bow, I don't think is very famous for great beer.
Yeah. They're
like college
they're
beer.
standard in like Baltimore area.
Yeah.
Or?
But it's that like low end, like Keystone Light. I think I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
They probably have. I'm sure they're just like every other one where they're getting more into the craft stuff now. You know.
Yeah. If you want to send me some shirts, and I'll speak more highly of you. That's fine.
I'll do a spot. We can,
He'll sing you a song.
yeah, sing a song. This is
Absolutely.
good. Send me a case and a T-shirt.
We also want to give a shout out to our other sponsor, the B Spot. They have live entertainment every night of the week. This week they have Joe Segan tonight, Mark Satorga on Thursday, the NEPA Metal Meltdown, which is what we're here to talk about, this Friday and Saturday with 13 bands. Vicious Paved the Way, Infernal Opera, Assayer, Crown of Earth, Threat Point, Psychoprism, Last Pharaoh, Signs of Madness, Drama Scream, Mesmera, and Turncloak, and of course The Crowning. And DJ Huff is hosting karaoke on Sunday. And our NEPA Scene Rising Talent Open Mic and Talent Contest, we just hit our halfway point this week, so we only have 6 more weeks to go. And I've heard from the very beginning, there's so many people saying they're going to come out, I haven't seen you out yet, so you need to come out. So please come out next Tuesday or any of the following Tuesdays. But you only have 6 weeks left to do it, and it goes by quick. So make sure you get there. All the details are on our Facebook page, which you're already at, so don't have to worry about plugging
I am one of those people that keep saying I'm going to come out. I am actually going to come out.
All right.
You're that guy.
I'm that guy. Don't be that guy.
Now you'll know where it is.
Yes.
You're playing there on
We're
Friday.
playing on Friday, yeah. Sweet.
So with you guys being not exactly, I wouldn't say you're metal per se, but you could fit in with other metal bands. So
Right.
how did you guys end up getting booked on the show anyway?
Friends told us you got to get on the show and made an introduction, and
Okay.
so Steve who kind of put it all together, was we're grateful that he squeezes on. Yeah, we don't. I mean, we're not metal, but we, we're kind of we're pan genre. We have
an edge.
Yeah. Yeah, we like to kind of be in that. We're kind of in that space where we can sit here and play acoustic, or we can go play with heavy bands.
Sure.
And we really like that versatility. I think, it's it just, we like to be able to do it all. So if we're, we play with Britney Spears, and or Metallica, or Slayer. So yeah, we just kind of, we're kind of all over the place as far as that goes, and so we definitely, we all listen to a lot of really heavy stuff as well. So, and there's so many great bands. I mean, we're stoked to be playing with some really, really good, talented people.
That's what I love about Metal Meltdown, is it's not only organized very well. Bands are on and off really quick. The night moves really fast. There's but he books so much great talent from different genres of rock music. So there's the real heavy stuff, and then there's more melodic stuff. There's stuff that is more for old school metal fans who grew up in the 60s and 70s and the 80s. But there's also more modern stuff as well. Mm-hmm. So if you're into the more modern metal, you're going to find something there too. So there's a little bit of everything for everybody, and there's just nothing else like that right now in this area.
That's awesome.
That there's nobody putting those types of shows together.
And in this area, or down by us in the Lehigh Valley. So it's such a great event to happen and be a part of.
So tell us what it is like, down your way, because I mean, when we cover Stroudsburg, it's pretty much the Sherman Theater, and that's more or less about it. So,
yeah.
What else
that
is going on there?
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah. So you got to separate. So Stroudsburg is kind of in this weird gap between, you've got you guys out here in the Scranton, Wilkes-Barre area, and then we've got Lehigh Valley, which is more like Allentown, Nazareth, Bethlehem, Easton. And then Stroudsburg is kind of, the redheaded stepchild up there. And the only thing really up there, is the Sherman or, Sarah Street Grill. So it's
and then like Hoboken's like, an hour and a half away.
Yeah. Or the Stanhope House, a half an hour away into Jersey. So it's kind of a tough, Stroudsburg itself is kind of a tough spot. So we play mostly kind of everywhere else, but Stroudsburg, honestly. We've got a show tomorrow down in our first show in Easton, and Easton's a great town. A lot of they got the kind of town center square down there where they actually got a really big venue, One Center Square, which has a lot of big national acts, and then literally like kind of all right there in the circle is or square, whatever, is a bunch of little bars that have really great local music. There's a lot of really good like indie podcasts. The Lehigh Valley Underground is would be your counterpart down in the Lehigh Valley area. They've got a lot of great podcasts, and they put on some great shows. They're actually the one putting on the show tomorrow that we're playing at in Easton.
Oh,
nice. I probably a lot more like singer-songwriter-y stuff down in the Easton area. It's very artsy, type of stuff. A lot of the bands in Stroudsburg are more like hardcore, post-hardcore, pre-whatever, I don't know, whatever the, screamo, a lot of like hardcore kind of genre directly in Stroudsburg. So yeah, we've been trying to make our way out. So we play a lot out in Jersey and New York, and we've been down to Delaware and Maryland and the Baltimore area, and kind of all around. So this is our first time heading out to the Scranton area, which we're pretty stoked about. There's a lot of really great bands out here, kind of home base out here.
Because it's the Electric City.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, you got it. So, but it is a great, like the Lehigh Valley scene is a great scene. There's so much support from, the e-zines or publications or whatever that do a lot of cover so much of the independent music down there, and so we're fortunate to have that backing down there, and people just do it because they love the scene and support it. So it's pretty awesome.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's why you do what you do too.
Yeah.
So, what day? This is your first time playing in this area, in the
Scranton,
Scranton, Wilkes-Barre area before. So, what are you kind of expecting going in?
To have a great time. I mean, we'll play anywhere. I mean, we've played like the tiniest of dive bars where we're setting up in a corner with like nothing and just playing,
like a glorified bingo PA, like bingo hall PA. Like
it actually, bingo PAs might actually put that one to shame. We won't mention the place, but
but
it's fun. I mean, still the people are great, and so
whether it's a hole in the wall place or we've played the main stage at the Sherman.
Yeah, so we've gotten to open up some big bands
times,
at the Sherman, a few times, and
but it's always you always want to play the same. You always want to just engage with as many people as possible.
Yeah, so expectations are the V Spot's an amazing place. Vinny's a great dude who does a lot for the music scene, and so we're just I really don't have any expectations other than to go out and just rock out and meet new friends and fans and connect with some of the other bands that we've been following a lot but haven't had the opportunity to play with. Our friends. Vicious, some good friends of ours. They play around. They've got a lot of great stuff down in the Lehigh Valley, and so they're playing the show too right after us. And AJ's been a good friend, and I've never been to any of his shows, so it's kind of weird that we're actually coming out to Scranton to play our first show together. So it's gonna be a good time.
They actually asked me to fill in on drums for this show, so I'm actually playing drums with them as well.
So you're doing double duty.
I'm doing double duty, and I think it'll end up being back to back. So
yeah, they're literally right after us. So you're going from guitar to drums.
It's a very
Cool,
heavy. Yeah.
The Infernal Opera is another one. The great dudes, Michael Albuquerque, who plays in that band. A guy we've networked with. We went down to Delaware, but somebody we've known but haven't. So this will be the first opportunity we actually get to actually see them and play with them and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Nice. Well, you guys are relatively new. You guys haven't been around that long. So tell us a little bit.
Almost a year.
How you got started?
Yeah. I had just relocated up to Pennsylvania I was living in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Okay.
And so I'd moved up here and was trying to find. I was in a band 12 years ago in Chicago, and anyway, I've moved all over the place. Wound up in Myrtle Beach, and wound up having to relocate up here and trying to find guys. I really wanted to start a new project and get something going. I've been writing a lot, playing just solo acoustic stuff, writing things, and it was, I think it was May 11th last year. I happened to stumble in a buddy. We went to the Alter Bridge show at the Sherman, and my buddy dragged me into this little dive bar, which is still closed, the Hideaway in Stroudsburg.
Yeah,
it was off the beaten path, and they had an open mic there. And so I went and played a couple songs and happened to meet Walter, our drummer, who was hosting it. Then Ty, the bass player, was there, and Ace was there that night. And these guys had been in bands. Literally, I met the entire band.
It was literally just one of those things where I never go out, and I happen to be there.
Yeah,
this
so weird.
one night, and I've teched for other bands, so I'm usually out of the area a lot, and the one night I happen to go out. And
yeah, literally that night, the next day, I think you were leaving to go on tour with Adrenaline Mob.
Yeah.
And so I happened to meet all these dudes that night. They're like, "You looking for musicians?" And I was like, "Yes." And so literally I found, and these guys have been playing in bands together since high school, off and on. So I kind of walked into a ready-made situation. I had a bunch of material, and these guys already had the rapport and experience of working together, and so within 3 weeks, I think we jumped into we went to Sound Mind and recorded our first 3 songs, and we worked with Daniel Malsh out at Sound Mind, fantastic producer, and actually AJ from Vicious he does a lot of sound music or recording work there, engineering work, and so we went, recorded a couple songs, and it went really, really good. And so I think, 3 months later, we went back in and recorded 3 more and put out the EP. Yeah, it's been, kind of, I feel like I kind of hit the gold mine, when, putting a band together is like the most impossible and difficult thing. If anybody's ever done it, it's
especially in a small area, like not
exactly.
in a major city, not where people are trying to actually pursue.
Like I tried Craigslist, I tried Tinder, I tried Grindr, like everything I could to find a band, and it just so happened I walked in, and found all 3 of them on the same night. So
you swiped right.
Yes, exactly. I swiped right. And they all liked dudes, so I was good. And
perfect.
So yeah, that was, and the rest is history. So we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary here this month, just a couple days, I think.
I think we're gonna go out on a date.
Yeah, I think so too. You gonna wear your knee-high stockings?
On my arms.
Your fishnets on your arms?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm very thirsty. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, me
No,
too,
you wanna-
man.
you wanna
Keep
jump
it
in?
flowing.
Keep the shandy rolling.
Absolutely.
Shock top lemon shandy.
I didn't even know this was like a part of it. This is such a bonus.
Oh,
I know, isn't it
you've
great?
been missing out, as I've been watching this. And I every time, like, man, all these
Now
great
you're gonna
beers.
start watching.
Here,
Beer
pass
Boys
that
is
around.
very good to us. They were one of the first people who kind of jumped on board and said, "Hey, we like what you're doing."
Yeah.
Now, don't mix those cups up, because we don't share our
I don't
cooties.
know who's is whose, so I'm sorry.
I'm gonna assume this one's mine.
The one with the lipstick is Ace's.
It's probably true.
That's not too bad.
I didn't put my face on today.
I
so.
better pour this around.
Yeah, I just kind of gave myself
Good job.
more than everybody else, but I'm a
Jeez,
selfish.
I did that the one show, and like all the comments were like shitting on me. So I'm so glad that they.
So is
they
this
didn't
finishing
attack
that
me
one,
the
or
same way.
is this a different one?
This is a different one. This
Okay,
is
which
still,
one's this?
Still shandy, but it's the shock top lemon shandy.
The lemon, okay.
Yeah, that's one I've had before. This is good.
Yeah, Beer Boys have been good to us since the beginning. So
I actually like that first one better.
I do too.
I gotta say, and you're not even a drinker.
I know.
Yeah.
the shock top is like, it's been around for a while. I think they kind of like didn't lead the way with, but
They're and they're owned by one of the big guys, I think. So they've been doing it a long time.
Well, you know who else is good? You guys ever get You guys get Lining Kugels down here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some good summer
Yep.
beers. They're really good.
Yeah, this is like a.
I overdid
I do
it on
enjoy
Shock
it.
Top at one time, and so I used to drink it all the time, and then one time it just didn't sit right.
I did that with sweet tea vodka.
Oh, really?
And then
It was
once
bad.
you get that
Yeah.
taste, now you associate it.
Well,
with
no,
it forever.
thank God that wasn't the case,
Oh, that's
because all I drink is iced tea, and that would have ruined me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a band practice night. I was just like, I could probably just drink it I was just drinking it out of the thing before I know it. Practice is over, and so is the bottle. So was I.
And Ace is a lightweight. Trying to get this guy to drink, I'm actually amazed. This is the most I've ever seen him actually drink.
This is business.
Okay, so is that what it is?
This
Is that what it
is for the people.
Dude, we can't even get this guy to do a shot hardly before we go on stage.
It's just not my.
Not
thing.
that you have to have alcohol,
No. But it certainly helps.
Yes.
In a lot of cases. So, can you talk a little bit about you said you had written a lot of the stuff beforehand, so then, how did that work with you guys, coming into this and meeting him and figuring out how you wanted to go forward with your sound and all that kind of stuff?
I mean-
How did you decide on what kind of sound you had?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in pretty much every kind of position as far as filling in for someone or starting from scratch, and it's always different because people are different
and many genres even.
and yeah, and so it's always a learning experience. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, he's pretty easygoing and open to our input, so he'll bring something to the table. But then, everyone gets to put in their ideas and input, and, we kind of talk amongst ourselves about what'll work and what doesn't. But, for the most part, it's, a very collaborative and ending, product, so, even if he has something, a lot, mostly, or, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like I have one riff idea and we'll go off that. And then other times it's like I have this song like 90% done. We just got to fill in these gaps.
Right.
And, but, thankfully it seems like there's not, a bunch of drama. And everyone kind of just, gets to, do their own thing. And, Ty writes really great bass parts. I get to do my solos and stuff, but a lot of the core of the song, he brings to the table. But it's working so far, and we're trying to get an album together before next year at some point, hopefully. And the more we get to write, the more we'll get to explore that and figure that out, because we actually are in the process now of. I'm kind of in the same boat where I have a couple things ready that I presented to him that he's been like, yeah, great, let's work on that. So, it's a lot of fun, and thankfully it's not stressful as it is in most bands.
That's why you want a collaborative process.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's not that. It's not like he has these songs ready and he's just like all right, this is what we're playing. It's a very collaborative. Effort, and we all have different influences and styles, and we.
I think that those really, at least in my opinion, like those really not only I think come through in the final product, but it's a super important part of the process. So for me, I write all these songs kind of in isolation. I have my acoustic guitar and I write or whatever, but I even if it's a fully completed song, like. Everything that these guys bring to the table, the dynamics and the nuance, they could be even really small things, but just every little bit of that, I feel like just gives the songs so much more depth and character than, if I were to try to write all these parts or play all this myself. Like, to me, that's one of the important things about having a band and having, they all kind of add their little special sauce, on top, and and I love it. I love the special sauce, and
he loves it on his face too.
I like to just be in the middle where all of them are adding their special sauce,
right.
in the practice room.
Yeah, so makes the sauce so awesome.
Yes, exactly.
I saw the giggle happen. I'm like, are we getting past that? Nope. No.
So we're diving right into that.
Yeah, you gotta go. So
no holds barred.
That's right.
Yeah, so I find that it's really each these guys have such depth of I mean Ace is I'm a guy. I play a little piano, a little guitar, and I sing a little bit. Like I don't really consider myself like a musician. You know what I mean? Like these are just kind of tools to get emotions and out. And these guys like Walter is a drummer, an amazing singer, a great guitar player, a songwriter. I mean he does it all. Ace plays like he grew up. He's been playing drums since he's like 5 years old, taped to a drum throne. And seriously, like
pictures.
Amazing drummer. And then is a great guitar player, an awesome singer, also a very successful independent songwriter, and Ty is amazing on bass.
There's Ty.
Yeah, no, Ty's incredible.
No, actually, yeah, and I mean Ty does a lot of stuff
too.
Behind the scenes. Like he has a lot of percussive ideas,
Yep.
and
he plays. He's another multi-instrumentalist, and so having kind of all of that input and influence, and for me access to that experience and knowledge, and being able to tap into that and what we do, I think is just going to help us even more down the road. So it's been great so far.
Where are you coming from lyrically? You talked about getting stuff out through the songs. What are inspiring you to write the lyrics?
It's different every time. I mean,
life.
Yeah. Like, I think obviously like being older now, like I have a different perspective than I did 12 years ago when I was writing, and every song is different. Sometimes it starts with just some kind of melody, and then the process of discovering what the song. Sometimes like for me, songwriting is more of a discovery than it is like, oh, I've got this idea of something I've got to get down on paper and get out. It's really like an exploration of, okay, here's this melody or here's a song idea. Like what is this, and the words kind of sometimes.
What is this about?
Yeah.
Not, I have this, what.
Exactly.
Where can this song go?
Right.
Not, I have this song and I'm taking it this way.
Right. It's sometimes like She's Running was one of the songs I wrote many years ago. We wound up recording it, and it was more of a storytelling song that kind of it was like one of those things where I sat down and wrote it in 10 minutes. Whereas other songs, start out with just kind of just some sort of emotion that I don't really know, but as I kind of start to piece together the melodies, words start to kind of come out. I know it maybe sounds really weird, and I don't know how.
All right, Kanye.
Yeah. It's so really it is most often it's a discovery process of trying to figure out what this song wants to be more than me saying I'm doing it this way.
Sure.
But that's probably weird, but.
But, I mean, they all obviously derive from feelings that you have.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah, life experiences. And
it's not like you're sitting down and you're like, I'm writing a hit song.
No. And a lot of times they wind up being about things. They're more not about things, but like kind of like reminders to myself of where I've been and where I need to be and where I'm going. Like a lot of times it's almost like therapeutic to even now listen to something that I've written as just kind of just a reminder to myself, of shit that I've been through and been able to make it on the other side, or
just life experiences in general.
Yeah.
And you have to keep it, maybe somewhat vague, just so that other people can relate to it on a certain level too.
Totally. And I tend not to really think about other people when I write. Like I try. I mean, obviously the hope is because anytime you create an art of any kind, painting, sculptures, music, whatever, the real. So there's this real release or just amazing experience of being able to put it out there for other people, and it's kind of a double-edged sword because you want there's this amazing feeling when someone else really connects with something you did, and they're like, oh man, this makes me feel this way, or I really relate to this in some way. It's like you're connecting with people on this really deep level, but at the same time, it's very emotionally dangerous, right? Because you're putting your at least for me, the stuff that I write is very, very personal to me, and so it's like you're kind of opening yourself up for criticism, for judgment, for
sure.
It could have the total opposite effect of what you're hoping to have, but there's this the overpowering drive and desire that you have to get it out. You can't, I can't, even if I'm afraid that people are gonna not like it. Even when I start with an idea and I bring it to these guys, it's a very man, you're kind of laying your soul kind of bare to people. And I mean, I know these guys, but even still, it's okay, I don't know if you're gonna it's a very personal experience, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it, but you have to. You have to get it out. You have to do it, and then of course when they're like, "Oh, this is cool," then you're like, "Oh God, huge relief," and so you look like you're ready to pour some more beer, or asking me something very deep. Yeah, I was trying to figure out which.
Do you want more beer?
Do I look like I don't want more beer? My glass.
Look at his
empty.
beard.
Yeah. I'll pass
The
that.
beer just soaks it right up.
That's
right.
Can you
roots.
handle more beer?
I guess.
Alright, this is...
By the end of the night, he'll have
If
drank
I
the entire beer.
spontaneously combust, why not on live?
That's right.
Cool.
Do it for the fans, Ace. Do
Is
it for the
there
fans.
any band, I mean, obviously you don't want to like say we want to sound like this or sound like that, but is there any band that you kind of, for the listeners who may have not heard you before, that you sound like or sing
that's
to,
like that's the kind of question like nobody ever wants to answer. I don't have a problem answering it because I think like if you give people an idea of what you sound like, they're like, oh, because maybe they like that band and they can some point of reference. I typically like a lot of what we hear from other people are things like Tool, Incubus, Foo Fighters, Bush,
Has Seether been
Soundgarden.
I haven't heard the Seether one.
That's kind of what I heard a little bit.
But I'll take it. I mean, anytime somebody says like, "Oh, you guys kind of remind me of this band," to me, it's some people get offended. To me, it's a compliment. That means unless you don't like that band.
In which case, they're wrong.
Yeah. Right. So that's I'm probably like stylistically most influenced by Nirvana, CCR, other Walter's a big Incubus and Sublime guy, which no offense, I'm not Sublime. I don't like Sublime. I know I'm gonna like out myself as a.
My wife loves Sublime.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get the Sublime thing. A lot of people love the Sublime thing.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of that influence comes out in his drumming style, which I think adds a cool like dynamic to what we do. Ace is.
And for me, like I at least guitar-wise, I listen to a lot of like Dead Letter Circus, like Animals as Leaders, Periphery, all that kind of stuff. So like a lot of like that almost, I guess you would call it the Angels and Airwaves, like delay. I like a lot of that stuff, and like so.
He's like our Edge.
I'm like a metal version of the Edge. All I do is I have fancy pedals, and I just play really simple parts, but they sound cool, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
And I'm named after two guitarists, and I was pretty much a drummer majority of my life, so.
Yeah, for the record, I checked. His name really is Ace Hendrix. It's his like legal name.
It's on my
Cool.
license.
When he said hi, I'm Ace. I'm like, yeah, okay, man.
Yeah, right.
That's everyone's
not a
reaction,
statement.
Not really.
and
Yeah,
that's
right.
totally fair because almost every time, it's my nickname, or like.
His
They called me that on my sports team. It's like
his
like-
actual nickname is Slash Van Halen. Just for the
that's
record.
because he's like that. Ace Hendrix is like the equivalent of like
Slash.
my name's Slash Van Halen.
Yeah.
So that's my new alias online.
Yeah. It's at Slash Van Halen on both Tinder, Grindr, and so swipe right, ladies or dudes, whatever. Ace has no. He doesn't care.
No judgment here.
Yeah.
You're lucky there's beer here.
That makes everything go down smoother. Even.
This is
Yeah.
the,
Oh,
Dos
not
Equis
this one so
lager
much.
Especial.
Ooh.
Yeah. What
It tastes like a Dos Equis.
Especial.
I don't know what I'm trying to figure out what's especial about it.
Especial. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much they failed. I mean, it's
Making it extra special.
yes, thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Especial.
You know,
I can't believe it, but the Crab Shack one is still my favorite.
I agree.
That was like so not what I thought going into this.
Their commercials are better than the beer, I think.
Dos Equis?
Because you
Oh.
remember the Dos Equis
Oh, they're the
commercials.
best.
Like, their marketing's great.
They have a new guy now,
Oh, do they?
don't they?
Oh, yeah.
I think they
younger
do.
guy.
I'm convinced everyone in marketing is literally, it's like 10 college kids just getting high every day. Because
much.
if you look at any commercials on, you're like, am I seeing this right now? Like,
Yeah,
Puppy
when-
Monkey Baby? Like, what was that
That
about?
was
Yeah.
fucked up,
Like, my buddy came down from Boston, and he doesn't watch a lot of TV, like, ever. He's like, dude, what is on TV right now? And I was like, it's a Geico commercial. I don't
I haven't
like,
seen that one.
What the? He's like, what is wrong with people? I was like, I
That
don't know.
actually aired on the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What is it?
Mountain Dew commercial?
Yeah, Mountain Dew. It's like it's just this obscene. It's a puppy monkey baby thing, like almost man bear piggish, and it's just saying puppy monkey baby and dancing, and it's just really. If you have no idea what's going on, it's very off-putting to just like turn on the TV and be
Yeah.
like, oh, this is
Right.
happening.
I think they're going for that, the shock value because you're going to talk about it.
I guess, because, here we are.
They win.
You're welcome, Mountain Dew. You win.
Exactly.
I don't want to pull it up.
Damn.
So the other thing I wanted to ask, you being in so many different areas over the years, what were those music scenes like, and how does it compare to where you are now?
That's a good question. I wish I was the right guy to ask that question, because I took a big hiatus from music, and honestly, growing up, I didn't really go to a lot of shows, get involved. I basically found the few bands I liked, and that was like you could never convince me to listen to anything else. And so I even lived in Seattle. I moved there in '94, the year Kurt Cobain died. I just never got into any local music scene. Honestly, before, even when I lived in Chicago, I was in a band called Mad Saturday, and we played, kind of all around the suburbs of Chicago. Man, I don't really remember a scene, to be honest with you. It was like, oh, there's a bar here that has music, you can go play there. I don't know. So I've never even in now in Stroudsburg, I know I talk to people like oh man, 10 years ago you could have this hardcore show or whatever at the Sherman Showcase or the Living Room or whatever, this little dive place in Stroudsburg, and 100 people come out, and now it's like, dude, you struggle to find 10 people to come out, for those shows. So I don't know, maybe I've just always missed it, and I would say as far as this, so I can only really speak to, and then when I lived in Germany for a while, and the music scene there I was doing a lot of stuff and going to like raves. The music scene, the techno music scene was fantastic. If you like,
so you don't remember it.
I learned something new about him today.
Yes, I was for a while there. It was never about the music. It was about the experience. Let's put it that way.
You can say that about a lot of things.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it okay.
That's true. So I'm looking to actually bring more techno and stuff back into what we do. And no, I'm kidding. So I can only speak to what the music scene is like now, and it seems like, but it is probably always the case. Anytime in history, when you're in the middle of something, you never realize that it's happening until like after the fact, and you're like, oh man, 5 years ago it was amazing, so many people come out, but when you're in that time, you're like, oh man, I wish it was 10 years ago when like 200 people, you know what I mean? So it's always relative to kind of where you're at, I think, but maybe not.
I don't know. For me, I have been in the scene, not as a musician, but just media and all that kind of stuff. I think it's coming back now. I think before 2008-ish, it was really good, and then like for 08 to like,
sure,
I don't know.
It comes and goes in
Cycles,
waves.
It's waves.
Yeah.
Just like anything else.
Just like even the styles of music that people like,
Yeah.
I think rock they're saying is making a comeback, I guess. I don't know. Some of my kids listen to like hip hop and rap and shit, and I'm like, what? But they love that shit.
It's crazy, for Breaking Ben to be from this town and to be topping the rock charts right now shows you how much people will attach themselves to any kind of rock music that's coming out right now, just because it seems like it's getting drowned out by everything else. People can't stop talking about people like Kanye West when there's so many other things going on, and it seems like it's the same. You hear the same pop stars and rap stars.
Even Judas Priest had number one.
Well, no, but it was even to the point. I'm sure people have seen this, but there's a video of like Snoop and like other famous rappers talking about music that's going on now. And just talking about how redundant and ridiculous it is, like how it's not original at all, and they actually take like 20 songs, I think, and they play just bits and pieces.
Please tell me they did that with Linkin Park.
No, it wasn't. But yeah, it's just like it's the same like flow, it's the same kind of everything, and like even people in their own genre are just like it's like played out now, like to the point where there's no originality. Everyone's just trying to be that next person,
Right.
or write that one hit.
Right,
or whatever.
and just like, and it's just like, oh, this is hot right now, so we're gonna do this instead of trying to focus.
But I think that's been a trend in the music business since music business. Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it was the same thing that happened to hair metal, and like
Yeah.
it's waves again, just like that with everything else. But yeah, anytime you get any kind of genre that like becomes too cliche or too redundant, people eventually move on to the next best, the next thing. So hopefully, next wave's coming.
I hope so.
We're losing Slayer, so like something's gotta.
Well, this is only their first farewell tour, right?
Well, yeah.
I mean,
there could be more. Hopefully,
yeah.
Sure.
You've got to at least do like 2 or 3, I think. If you're a real metal band.
Absolutely.
Well, now that's if you're Kiss.
I mean, Ozzy's on
Or
his
Ozzy.
next one now.
Yeah, right.
Now Ozzy,
How many
Ozzy's
has he
on
been on?
his 24th farewell tour.
Yeah, exactly.
I
He's gonna
think,
farewell.
I think
on
his
every
first
project he's been a part of.
farewell one was 96, 97.
Yeah.
The No More Tears tour was supposed to be his last tour.
Yeah.
Ugh, I'm old.
I still want to go to Vegas and see the Britney Spears show.
Forget Britney Spears. I want to go see Chris Angel.
Right?
He's right downstairs.
Right. So people who didn't know, we were talking about this beforehand. We pull in, and we're like, "There's a big tour bus and all this people." We're like, "Man, what is going on?" There's like some huge band, and we drive back around the block and we see on the ticker that Chris Angel is playing tonight. So we're literally sharing the same corner in Wilkes-Barre as Chris Angel, which is
You've essentially opened for Chris Angel. Right
basically, yes, exactly.
And just for
Thank you.
full disclosure,
Can we put that on a
I
resume?
am ready.
You are ready. So
Yes.
the question is, are you ready?
And he has actually been in the room the whole time.
As he leaves, we're all like covered in a guy liner and like splattered with.
If that happened, I'm looking for a suicide booth right after, because no life experience is going to trump that moment.
What the hell is a suicide booth?
Futurama?
Is that a cry,
okay.
a cry closet?
Oh yeah, that's a thing now.
Oh yeah.
Are we going there?
We don't have time for that.
Let's not. Let's
We
do.
don't have time.
That's for the after show.
We legit
show.
don't have time for that. Vinny just tuned in. I was gonna say
He
before.
What's up, Vinny?
Vinny from the V Spot. I was gonna say his head is probably so massive right now from the
Right, from all the compliments for me.
compliments Micah gave him earlier that he didn't hear.
No, I'm like legit excited
Don't
to
do
meet
it.
other bands on Friday
That aren't named Vinny.
that aren't Vinny.
One thing I wanted to mention, especially about metal, but it also extends to, I think, rock music in general, is that you have such diehard fans from around the world, people who will listen to you from anywhere. And there was a gentleman when you guys shared the thing for tonight, a guy from Croatia was like, "Oh, I'm going to tune into this." It's 1 a.m. for him over there, but he still wants to listen. And to me, that it just shows how much people really do care and how many people you can reach through the internet.
Absolutely.
It really is amazing. I mean, we have like fans in the Ukraine and Australia and Europe, all over
Russia.
Europe, Russia.
Didn't you ship out a CD to Russia the other week?
So like it's it's and our EP is literally being played all over the world on hundreds of radio stations all around the country and all over the world. And it is amazing that we live in a day and age where it used to be the only way you could ever reach that person was you have to go tour there or go play there
Or send them a cassette tape.
Yeah. And now like we are have this amazing opportunity to be connected with so many people, and we're always, anytime, even just one person, every single person who likes what we do it just means a lot, that people are connecting with your art in that way, and it's pretty amazing.
But I think it's important for people to also go to shows if they can.
Absolutely.
To get out to them, because you have so many people, I think, now that just consume music online or consume music through an iPod or whatever, and they don't actually go out and see bands live. And even if they're not the bands that maybe you're listening to on a regular basis, you might want to try your local bar, your local.
You know what it is? Not to get too philosophical, but I do have strong kind of feelings and opinions about this. Like we live in this day and age where we are more connected than we've ever been in any point in history, but we are so like disassociated and like the personal connections are so
minuscule.
Like they don't exist anymore, and so like it's a shame that this technology which has connected us has actually distanced us in so many ways. Even like look at the political landscape, like we say things to other people online we would never say to their face in person that we just wouldn't.
Right.
And so that whole personal connection, and it applies to music. Well, shit, I've got access to every band I've ever wanted to hear at any point in time right here. But you don't. And we've become so trained and accustomed to that we don't realize that we really are missing a personal connection. When you go out to, even it's like going out with friends somewhere, forget even just the band and music thing. I mean, obviously you want people to come out, but like people are so more apt to stay in and Netflix and chill, and then actually go out and make personal connect, because it's actually become harder because we've been so trained to be with everything to be easy. Having personal relationships with people is hard. So why would you don't think about it consciously, but subconsciously it's much more difficult to go and make a connection, have a conversation with someone than it is to like go like a post in their picture. Seriously.
Absolutely.
And it's a shame that our society is, as a global society, has devolved to this,
and I think they feel like that's a personal connection.
It's a shame,
and
really.
It's
worries.
Not the same thing.
It really worries me about on a personal level about like anybody who has kids. Like, when my daughter posts a picture on Instagram. She's only got like a couple followers with her friends or whatever, but she's like, "Oh, Dad, look, 30 people liked my picture." Like, it's not real. We get validation from clicks and likes on, Facebook and Instagram posts, and it's one thing when we've already, we grew up without that, and so it's kind of something a little more added onto our life. But we have generations of kids growing up where that is the only real connection they have, and it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But it is too. You as a new parent.
4-month-old. So.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, it's scary. I think about life a lot differently now, obviously.
Right.
And I see things differently, and it's like, fuck, like, how am I going to address that when the time comes? It's just like, it's going to be different, in 10 years than it is right now, even.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is like, I mean, my kids can do such amazing things with their phone. They make all these crazy videos, and I can only imagine when they're my age, the technology that their kids are going to have, and right. I mean, it just grows exponentially. It's nuts.
Something you said before, we should get a movie made where someone saying something on Facebook or wherever it is, they get like transported and they find themselves actually saying it to the person in real life, and seeing what happens. Something like that.
Yeah.
Can we get the guys from Shaun of the Dead to do it?
Whatever.
I would love to do like like some sketch comedy kind of thing. There's so many great local comedians and things around here. I think that would be awesome.
You throwing gang signs?
Let us go. I've already made it weird.
Throwing gang signs.
We have some unexpected guests apparently. I said gentlemen. I apologize. Apparently, Sarita is a woman. I apologize.
You did it.
You know why? Because of the profile pic. It
always throws me off.
Yeah, it was of Lane Stanley. So
yes, she's got a lot of great pictures of great musicians. I always get these requests, all these spam requests. You guys get these?
Yeah,
it's
all
like
the time.
Steve Smith, and it's like a chick picture, or actually it's a picture of a dude. It'll have a girl's name or something.
Right,
and it's
right.
like, then you click on their friend request and you see it's like, meet me here on my birthday. Look at diffident pics. It's like always like terrible.
Yeah.
I literally get like 30 of these a day.
What kind of websites you on?
We're gonna try to keep this PG-13.
Yeah, well.
So
I'm asking the real questions.
She says here in the Balkans, it's hard to find old good audience, people who really listen to metal, punk, grunge. Place we have to play with. The problem is the people. So, and that's true too. I think. And I will write an editorial about this at some point because it's something that's been bothering me for a while. But I really think that at this point, at least in the local music scene anyway, and maybe it's a national problem too. The problem isn't so much the bands. Now it's the fans. There's a lack of fans, and there's a lack of people, as we said before, willing to actually go out to the shows and support the bands in a realistic way. I think. It's great if people want to, download your music or say, hey, good job on Facebook or whatever. But like you said, likes and stuff like that isn't real support. It's nice, but it's not real support.
It's kind of a double-edged sword. Like one of the things that irks the shit out of me in local music scenes, there's two things. One is, first of all, like people refer to themselves as local music or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really not. It doesn't have to be like we're not technically local. I mean, we're local to the people here,
right?
But, I mean, really, our music is all over the world. But the people who incessantly go on Facebook and whine about the music scene, like
that's not helping you.
Exactly. Like, oh, get out to show. So to me, it's like you've got to meet people where they are, and in all aspects of life, right? Like, so I don't know. I personally, just my own personal thing is I tend to avoid lecturing people about you got to come to shows, you got to come out. Listen, if the people that if 5 people come out, great. If 500 people come out, amazing. And so I hope to just continue to put out great content. If obviously figuring out how to monetize this whole thing is a very different beast than it was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, right? So there's that aspect of it. But I don't know. I tried to no obelisk whine and and just
it is like it really is what it is.
It is what it is.
I mean, you can whine about it, but it's it's not going to change.
I'm not gonna. I don't feel like I don't want to lecture people into coming to my shows. Like, hopefully, if people feel inspired to come, great. If they don't, they're missing something. What I think is a cool different aspect of our art, because there's the aspect of the art that's just a recorded music, and then there's the performance aspect of the art,
Sure.
And
but I mean, in even beyond that, there's after that where we try and hang out and watch and hang out with other bands, and if you really dig what we do, we're nice dudes. Come have a beer with us.
The thing that
we're there to also perform, but we're also there to engage and talk to
make
people.
connections
And if you dig our stuff, we want to know about that, and we'll talk to you.
I think one of the other things is I just totally lost my train of thought. I had something really cool to say, and it totally escaped me. What were you saying about bands? It'll come back. It'll come back.
Well, let's get the plugs in before we wrap up, and maybe it'll come back to you.
Yeah.
So we have NEPA Metal Meltdown this Friday. What time do you guys go on?
Let's say 6.
6-ish?
First.
Yeah.
First that night.
Yeah, you guys are on pretty early, but
the
show goes on all night.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great, no matter whether you make it out. We go on at 6:30, so be out there by then. It's gonna be a great show no matter what.
Yeah, it was a last minute add on. We don't care. We'll start it off. But please get there.
And tomorrow night in Easton. So for those of you who are down in the Lehigh Valley area, we'll be playing. We're gonna be playing at Rival Sports Bar and Grill in Easton. We've got Leah Marie Fools, acoustic. She's opening the show. followed by From the Dark River. Great band's going to be playing, and then we'll be playing after that. And then Friday out here in Scranton at the V Spot. And yeah, Doug of From the Dark River. That's Doug. Yeah, Doug Katz, amazing musician.
Just plug him.
And then Friday out here in Scranton. And then, and remember, the Scranton thing's a 2-day thing. So basically, so definitely come out for both
2
days. And then June 2nd is the other really big thing. So June 2nd, 5 Acre Fest. If you go to 5acrefest.com, it's all spelled out. FIVE, acrefest.com. Get all the details. It's 3 days of camping and a full day of, so it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, full day of music on Saturday that we are putting on at my house. We've got a big, we do it pretty big. And
how many bands?
Like 14 different bands playing.
14 bands.
It's a free event. We just ask for a donation of any amount. But it's free. It's family friendly. So we got like a bouncy house for the kids and shit to do for kids, and we got porta potties, so you don't have to be in the woods.
Always a plus.
It's always a plus.
Ladies appreciate that.
Yes, and I bet you know what we should do. We should have one of the porta potties marked for men and one for women. At the end of the day, let's see which one is more disgusting.
Oh, weird. I already know which one it's going to be.
The women's.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I hope you'll have
I worked at a
gender neutral.
We do. It's the tree behind the two porta potties. It will be the gender neutral.
So yes, if you identify as a pineapple, that would be where
yes,
where you're allowed to urinate.
And we have a cat box. If you identify as a cat, and there's a lot of you that do, we do have a litter box that you could use. You might have to take the lid off because you might not fit. And then, so the other thing, actually, the one big thing I'd like to talk about is for the month of May, we are raising money for Project Help, which helps veterans with who are PTSD and homelessness and brain injuries. They're a fantastic organization. And so for $15, you get a ticket to our show at the Stanhope House. You get a copy of our CD, and all of the proceeds go directly to Project Help. So even if you can't go to the show, it's only $15, and it goes to help veterans. Help. Let's help those ladies and men and women.
It's a great cause.
Yes. That's it. I'm still trying to remember what the hell profound thought I had that I wanted to share.
I don't know if you want to mention the New York thing at all.
Oh, May 24th. So anybody who's watching in the New York area, we'll be in Queens at Blackthorn 51 on May 24th. So we've got, I don't know, there's like 6 different bands playing.
6 bands, yeah.
So it'd be awesome if you're in the New York area to come out. Man, I think it covers all the announcements.
Grace Goldsmith says can't wait for the 5 Acre Fest.
Yes, Grace, it's going to be great. And so you can camp. So there's a campground right across the street if you want to camp there, or you can camp on the property.
Really, like Wayne stock is what we're really going for.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yeah, like if,
I don't know what that
if you
is,
book
but
them, they will come. Wayne's World 2, bro.
Oh, okay. I never saw that one. I only watched the first one.
You will have to edit this out.
Yeah.
Because
I'm losing a lot of fans right now.
Yeah.
Because John Morrison came to me in a dream, and he said if you book them, they will come. So 5 Acre Fest was born.
Yes. And so the bands that are coming are from all over, both like out here in Scranton and down in Lehigh Valley. So basically, kind of all over the area.
Local.
Yeah, it's not really. Yeah, regional. Yeah, regional acts.
Regional acts.
So very talented across the board, and it's a mix of like we've got some acoustic stuff, we got some heavy, we've got some metal, we've got stuff like us, kind of I don't know, transgenre, The problem with being transgenre is like we know the kind of music we like, but we just don't know which bathroom to use. It's like the difficult part, but so you might want to edit that out.
We'll get there as America progresses.
Yes.
We'll get there.
Sweet.
All right, so you want to do one more song before we're done?
Sure. Yeah, we'll do one more.
Okay.
You want to do one more, Ace?
Yeah. For the people.
Yeah.
For the people. I'm going to tune. This is probably my favorite song on the record. It's called Hard to Find. but you seem so far away. Through it all, sure to find a way. Rise and fall of tides, you roll the waves. You said your love is hard to find, so would you please find the time? You're standing there next to me, but you seem so far away. Far away. Man, thank you.
Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, I've been
Absolutely.
dying to be out here, so appreciate finally getting the invite, man.
And there
Thank
was
you.
beer.
Amazing.
Brought to you by our sponsor.
Beer boys.
Thank you, Bear Boy. And thank you, Vinny. We'll see you this weekend at the NEPA Metal Meltdown. NEPA Scene will be there with some exclusive coverage, maybe some live streaming, all that good stuff. So make sure you tune in for that. And we'll see you here same time next week, 7 to 8 p.m. Right here on Facebook or Twitter.